It's really what we're all about today. It's the formal reception of the mortal remains. And throughout the broadcast this morning, our SABC reporter Griselda Lewis has been coming live from the Bathabile Air Force Base. And that's where we're crossing to now. During the interview that Ayanda Ali Payne conducted with Kirsten Nimatandani, who's the representative of the Nigerian Church, the Synagogue or Church of All Nations, we saw visuals of a plane touching down. So we're going to cross to Griselda now just to kind of elaborate on that for us and kind of explain to us what's currently happening. Good morning, Griselda.
Well, thank you very much once again, Sam, here live from the Bathabile Air Force Base. And certainly, as you can see the picture on your screen, the first aircraft has landed here at the Air Force Base. We're expecting the Minister in the Presidency, Jeff Radebe, and the head of the Inter-Ministerial Task Team to come out from that aircraft. The first, of course, arriving here this morning, and shortly after 8 o'clock, we're expecting those experts, those professionals, also part of that mass repatriation team that was sent to Lagos to go and assist with the repatriation process, also to touch down here. And at 9:45, of course, those 74 South Africans who perished in that disaster, described as one of the worst disasters to hit a place of worship. Certainly several ministers have also come here to the Bathabile Air Force Base. A bit earlier you saw we spoke there to the Health Minister, Aaron Motsoaledi, and also here with us this morning is the Minister as well of Social Development, Bathabile Dlamini. Minister, if you could just join us, please. Thank you very much for your time this morning. Certainly a very difficult day for South Africa as well as the world watching. Minister, let's talk about social development and what your involvement has been in the repatriation process.
The first thing we did was that immediately after the first briefing, social workers had to go and identify the families and inform them about their loved ones. And then they were informed that we were going to come and report timeously up until the bodies are repatriated to South Africa. And then secondly, we've been offering pre-psychosocial services, and we are going to also provide after psychosocial services. And last night we had a 24-hour psychosocial services. We had a meeting with the families to inform them about all the processes, starting with social development, SAPS, health, and state security. And families had an opportunity of asking questions. So what we have already done is to locate the two kids that came on their own here. We found a foster grandparent for them, and that they are still in hospital. We've also been counseling those that were injured, and were able to bring them home in advance. And we all know that grief and bereavement affects us differently. And so that is why we've said that we are readily available. And when families came here,
I'm very sorry there, Minister. I'll come back to you just very shortly. Let's just have a look on the monitor there, as we can see the Minister in the Presidency there and the head of the Inter-Ministerial Task Team, Jeff Radebe, returning from Lagos in Nigeria, certainly with good news for many to hear here. The 74 bodies will be repatriated, expected to arrive at about 9:45 this morning. Minister, I think let's get back to that. You had a meeting yesterday with the families of these loved ones. You know, undoubtedly, you know, that they're in a lot of grief, they're in pain, they've waited for so long. But paint a picture for us of what some of the main concerns of these families are in that question time that you had with them.
The first concern was the fact that they've been waiting for a long time. And then the second concern was because we strongly advised families not to view the bodies because of their state, and we think that could traumatize them more. And we all know that in our culture we believe by seeing our loved ones. So we did try and advise that they should not, but there was you could feel that they do want to see them, but also they also said they must be sure that they are taking the correct people. And we had a pathologist in the morning in the meeting who explained why the bodies cannot be opened. And then the third issue was the issue of children. And then we did say that as social development, we are going to take a responsibility of children who've lost their parents, and we are preparing a package for all of them. Already there are two that lost both their parents who were here at home. Yes. And we've already spoken to their school. Yes. Because the school was already complaining. Yes. And then also we are also looking into their accommodation. And we are
just also the Minister, I want to talk a bit about what happens post as well. Will there be social workers who will be sent from the various departments of social development? We know that all but one of the provinces have been affected here in South Africa. The Northern Cape is the only province that is not affected. So will we have social workers with the continuous involvement with the families of these victims?
We have 150 social workers from social development, 50, the SABC 50, and the army 50, and they will be part of the service today. And again, they will be preparing members of the family to go back tomorrow, and we are going to ensure that when we leave from here, we do our work. We are going to do our work continuously because it takes time to heal. So we want to ensure that we also take our time to help members of various families to adapt. And we all know that people respond differently. And one other thing that we saw last night was a lot of anxiety, and which is
understandably
yes,
so.
You can't avoid it under these circumstances. But there are some that were grateful, yes, that thanked the government for the work it has done. But the issue, yes, of the time
seems to have been the major issue, yes, in this. Minister, I'm afraid we're going to have to go back to the studio now. Thank you very much for your time there. The Minister for Social Development there telling us about their involvement and the continued support that will be given to the families of these victims post today's arrival of those 74 bodies from Lagos in Nigeria. Let's go back to Sam Marshall, who's in studio.